You're tuned into All2ReelToo. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by All2ReelToo.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame and Carta.
That was a dead silence there. That was good.
Couldn't hear the guitar? Oh, damn.
Tuning. Oh, I heard the tuning of the guitar. I'm just saying, like a dead silence as far as like your words go.
All right.
No, that was fine. I got the guitar. I heard it, man. That's
the only thing I wanted to hear. Here's not my name.
So today on this episode, we're going to be joined, or as I should say, I'm going to be joined by Keith Coogan, who's known for classic films like Adventures in Babysitting, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Toy Soldiers, many other things. He's also the grandson of Jackie Coogan, who played Uncle Fester on The Addams Family. We talk about his family, about acting, and about what he's got going on now, what he's been up to. It's a fun look back at the nostalgia of the 80s and the 90s and whatnot. Let's check that out right now. Again, thank you for joining us here. You've had a great career of your own, like especially in the 80s and 90s, where you were like in some great cult films. Your grandfather, however, was Jackie Coogan. When did you learn about his significance and legacy?
I'd heard the family talk, grandma's a dancer, grandpa was in a silent movie and TV star. I'm like, yeah, is he on Gilligan's Island? They're like, no, he was not on Gilligan's Island. I don't care. And Addams Family, I don't think it had really hit my radar. It was in black and white. I don't know.
Yeah.
So around 8 years old, they had a screening in Los Angeles for The Kid.
Yeah.
And they had, all these adults came there and everyone had to get dressed up and everything go down. I promptly fell asleep during the screening. But I realized they said that my grandfather had the screening of The Kid, fell asleep in Charlie's lap to his own movie. So it runs with the family. But from that, I got that he was a big deal that my family had said. And that movie, what I had seen of it, I guess, and I saw it subsequently. We had a print that my grandfather would go around colleges with Lurch, with Ted Cassidy, and they would do an evening with Jackie Coogan and show clips of his life and Addams Family and stuff. And he would wear the death cloak and the whole makeup and everything like that. So that, to me, it was like a pop culture thingy, but I didn't know in relation to, I didn't understand The Kid until I started working. At about 6 years old, I got my union card and it was Coogan account. Let's go. I go, we had money? Wait, our family had money. It went, and then we don't have money. Oh God. But there's a law to protect other people. So other people get their money. That's cool. All right. So that all became knowledge, and there was no advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah.
I was using the name Mitchell, the TV work, the initial 10 years or so of TV before getting into the movies at 16. And I changed it over to Coogan. And I think I'd already shot Silver Spoons, but we called production and said, could you change the credit? Because by the time I'd shot it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna change it over to Coogan. And so he was a presence in that family, was in the business, like United Auto Workers or construction or law enforcement. And so there's a generational passing on of what they can. A lot of it is really experience, and times change so quickly that, what is relevant on a silent movie set might not be relevant on an after school special.
Yeah. Did you know him at all, or did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We visited a lot. They lived in Palm Springs. And then the summers were so hot, they would come and just spend the whole summer with us, either renting a place close by or staying with us at one point. And I was 14 when my grandfather passed, so I got a lot of really good time with him.
My grandfather passed around the same time, and he was like my best friend. So I was pretty, devastated by that. So it kind of shook me up. So your first movie was Adventures in Babysitting. What before that, I know you did a lot of TV and everything, but what pulled you into acting at such a young age, like when you were a little
Getting
kid?
paid. We had fallen into, and maybe it was proximity. We were a few miles from where they were shooting a McDonald's commercial. They needed a stand-in, just the kid to stand so they could be hiding and stuff like that. So we went. My mom overslept, and she's flying into San Jose. And we get, I do the time, and the director wanted to use me in the commercial. He goes, "This kid's great. Let's use him." And my mom's like, "Yeah, you hire the other kid. It's not cool to do that." So he said he'd use me for something else, and it didn't happen right away. My mom's just trying to get paid and I wasn't union. So it was really hard to try to get the paycheck and everything. So we went to an old kid agent, Don Schwartz, and he didn't forget about trying to get me paid. He's signing me up to send me out on a bunch of commercials and stuff. And my mom goes, whoa. What about these 8 hours? He goes, screw that. We got Jackie Coogan's grandson. So she goes, fine. He won't use the Coogan name, and we'll see how it goes. And it went that I just booked a bunch of commercials and started to do guest appearances, just working my way up the ladder and auditioning for everything. You audition for everything, but as you start to book, you kind of gain precedence for salary and clout. There's a Q rating in Hollywood back then amongst TV. They just ask people your name, or they show you a picture, and people either go, "Oh, I know who that is," or they don't. And I was on TV a lot as a kid. Might have blown some chances to be on some of the films with directors that prefer to work with people that are undiscovered yet. So by the time I'd done the Waltons at 9 or 10 years old, I was not undiscovered. And it was interesting because I don't think people knew what kind of an actor I was, because in Waltons, it was kind of a drama.
Yeah.
And I was a brat. I was a big brat. So it's fun to do. I don't know. I didn't fall into the beefcake, cheesecake, handsome guy. I'm kind of a nerd, a dork, a dweeb, a geek. And so auditioned for those kinds of roles.
I hear you. That's how I grew up. I mean, I grew up on all those types of shows because I was born in the late 70s. I watched a lot of those shows. I know you were on Knight Rider and things like that. I remember watching that as a kid all the time, loving that show.
Me too. I love Knight Rider. And it hadn't aired yet. It was only in a couple of the sci-fi or, magazines. Yeah. And so I was very excited to take part in Knight Rider, and, cheesy show for the time, but just the concept of a car that can talk and is self-driving. Totally science fiction. That would never happen.
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah, a lot of things on shows like that are like, man, I've got a Star Trek t-shirt on right now. Predicted a lot of the things that we've have now, which is interesting. Yeah. So yeah.
And when Spider-Man.
Yeah. I almost wore my Spider-Man shirt today, ironically, but yeah.
Star Trek is pure tech. Let's try to kill God. And Star Wars is pure faith. Let's try to find the balance of the Force, and it doesn't matter the tech. I
always get the question, like, which do you prefer? And I'm like, I like both of them. It's possible to like both. So,
well, yeah, because the foundation of Star Trek. I grew up with the TV series, the original TOS, the original series, and I didn't know the difference between what season. I knew ones I liked. I liked the one with the little pancakes on the wall that attacked everybody. That was cool. Tribble, maybe I like the Tribbles one, but that guy is just so annoying. Kirk is always getting his. I loved the anytime travel, anytime they went to gangsters or Depression era or westerns or anything like that. That was a good ride.
Yeah, I always love time travel stories, even if they are totally flawed in logic. How did you? I saw like Adventures in Babysitting was like your first movie. How did you get that film?
So the audition process through agent and the casting directors, Jane Jenkins, Janet Hutchinson, had put out the want for Brad, and they were doing a nationwide search for the babysitter. And you read for them, and they put you on tape, and then you meet and read for the director. And then there was screen tests and mixing and matching. So you're going up with different babysitters, and they've got different Brads. And me and Anthony Rapp even had swapped at one point. I'm reading for Daryl, he's reading for Brad, and we swapped back again. And made it through the gauntlet of the auditions, and that was a lot of work just to do that part. I felt we'd already shot a few of the scenes already, and then we did 2 weeks rehearsal, which is really unheard of for movies. The only other movie I had rehearsal on was Toy Soldiers. We had a week of rehearsal. So with 2 weeks rehearsal, we acted out the script, and the direction by Chris Columbus was, you guys are the straight man, everyone else is the wacky, zany, or whatever. You guys just react how you'd really react, like kids would really react. Don't go over the top. You guys just play it straight. And as we're doing that, we're kind of smoothing out dialogue and coming up with other lines, and they're writing them and the thing. And so we've kind of improv our way into the script that you saw. We didn't really improv on set. We did all of that work during the rehearsal period. And then we were ready to shoot. We took a little Christmas break, came back after the new year, and took about 2.5 months. And the movie came out late June, early July, for the July 4th weekend that year. So I turned 17 a week and a half into shooting. It was a teen event horizon.
Yeah, I read Anthony Rapp's book where he talks about the shoot on that and everything. I've met Anthony a couple times. He's a really nice guy. Did you see like that, initially the chemistry that all of you would have on that set?
I felt it while we were rehearsing. During rehearsal, if it was me or Lisa, which we all call Elizabeth Shooch Lisa.
Yeah.
Or the producers or the director or the writer, anyone was around, go, oh, this would be funny if we try that. Maya would say something. Anthony, if anybody's had an idea and we'd run with it and got it, laugh, and we've cracked us up. So immediately we knew that we worked together really well as a team. And now just plop us in all the cars and the tow trucks and the stolen Cadillacs and on the roofs and on the streets and on the buildings. And we'll be fine. And everything around us is just truckloads and truckloads of gear. Shot maker, light maker, pros, all the lights and the cranes and just dollies and a healthy. The thing about the Touchstone movies, their rule was you can't spend over $10 million on the budget. And so, that was at the time what you call medium budgeted. Stakeout, Splash.
Yeah,
Ruthless People, Outrageous Fortune, all Touchstone movies and all made within that $10 million budget range. And so the reason Chris Columbus chose Adventures in Babysitting to do as his directorial debut was because it had a modest scale. Cars and trucks and streets and kids and buildings.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of explosions or spaceships or anything like that. So it was a manageable scale. But it was still a lot of cold night work.
It's hard to believe that was his first film too. It's just because it just gelled so well together. Everything. I watched it again the other night. I watched that, and then I watched Don't Tell Mom. The Babysitter's Dead. I watched those just to kind of brush up. Hadn't seen them in years, but they both hold up so well.
Thank you.
I think that it's movies from that era tend to I think there's some that don't hold up, but most of them tend to hold up from especially the teen films of that era. What was it like on Don't Tell Mom? Did you feel like the same kind of chemistry on that set and everything?
Sure. You're not all stuck in one hotel because you're on location. So it's more, it was shot in LA. and everyone has their own things to do after filming or before filming or whatever. This was, I think there were so many high concept movies of the 80s about parents leaving town and the son just screws everything up, that they had pitched it at that time, right after Risky Business. And it took a while to get it made.
Yeah.
So by the time it came out in 91, it turned into that, a teen escape fantasy. Of course, the premise is that if it was a girl, everything would be better by the time the mom came home. They have a whole family of kids that can go through an arc of being on their own. And the title change, if they hadn't changed the title from The Real World, which is what my script says, then they did a list of 100 titles, gave it to kids. They go, what movie would you see on this list? And most of the kids picked Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is the movie they'd want to see the most. And so, thank you, kids. And then cult, I appreciate any sort of cult moniker. I appreciate cult movies. Humbly, it's tough to accept that anything you do is cult. You do strive, of course, for mainstream and for, thankfully they made money, which sometimes cult, you have to say it didn't make money. But what it did for the cult, it's kind of like Office Space, Office Space made its money on video eventually. Both eventually Babysitting and Don't Tell Mom Babysitter healthy, cable runs healthy, VHS and DVD runs, and still play on the cable. And what's left? How many people still are on cable? Like 45% of the country.
And I don't have cable.
And on streamers. And I love it. People celebrate the anniversaries every year, and occasionally there's cast reunions for the movies at the autograph convention. It's always great to see the cast in those situations.
One of your movies that I watched a lot as a kid, and I had the VHS of, was Book of Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little underrated of all the films that you've done. I don't know why, but I really liked it. I mean, it's obviously a movie they probably couldn't make today because it's kind of, with the sexual, aspect to it or whatever, but yeah.
There's some pretty ribald stuff on Netflix and stuff now.
Yeah, I guess they could make it. It just wouldn't be mainstream as much as that was at the time. I mean, it wasn't like mainstream, but it was released in theaters. I don't know necessarily if they would do that nowadays.
No, the economics are different to put something in so many theaters, and it wasn't in a bunch. It didn't make its money back. And has been hard to find on cable or DVD or stuff. But Book of Love can be bought, purchased digitally or rented or whatever. And it is Peter Deming, beautifully shot, shot House Party and a ton of the New Line Cinema movies. Rachel Talalay produced, and she had directed Freddy the Final Nightmare and Tank Girl. And she said it was funny. She'd tell Robert Shea, that's it, cut it for the night. And Robert Shea was like, nah, we're going to do a shot with the crane and we'll wet down the street. She goes, we got to go. We're over budget. And he goes, she goes, I'm producer. And he goes, well, I own the studio. So she goes, why'd you hire me? What was the point of hiring me? So he got everything he kind of wanted. And then he'd have an annual party every year and raise a glass to be like, all right, we've lost 1.2 million on Book of Love. But Bob was the papa. He was Dr. What's the wizard? Mr. Wizard? Yes, Mr. Wizard.
Mr. Wizard, yeah.
Yeah, he'd come up and, hey, kids, we go, yes, Mr. Wizard. And he would explain the experiment. I want this and this and this. And we go, yes, sir. And he was definitely the captain of that boat. Me and Chris Young just wanted to make Bob Shea really happy.
Yeah, he was definitely a legend in indie film and what became
at his prime.
Yeah.
It was the house that Freddie built. But then also during rehearsals, he goes, can I show you something? We're like, hell yeah. Sit next to all these Freddy arms and head pieces and stuff. And he puts on a trailer for the Ninja Turtles movie. And it's got the whole lip sync and everything that's really good. And our jaws hit the floor. We're like, and it became the most successful independent film when cleared way over 100 million. Very proud of him for that. He knows IP. There's a picture of him coming back from Cannes with Jackie Chan on his shoulders. He's like, I brought him back to the U.S. finding out of print movies or out of copyright movies like Reefer Madness, and then distributing them through colleges. And that's, New Line is a distribution company foremost, and then they started making their own movies. And Bob, in the middle of shooting Book of Love, he goes, I got this great idea, this science fiction movie. And he explained something, and it was the other one that he directed decades later. What was it called? Not Bridge to Therapy. Now I'm totally spacing on it. But he just has a vision, and he ran a studio and got to be able to execute his vision. I was just talking about Book of Love because of the cars.
Yeah.
Chevy, the chopped Buick, the time period, the clothes, the girls, the hairstyling, and all that other stuff. I
think one of the things
we called it Happy Days meets Porky's.
I think a drew me to it is I was like a big James Dean fan, and watched all those, Rebel Without a Cause and whatnot. And that's why I kind of wanted to get into acting myself. I did a bunch of stage and some indie films, but nothing big. But yeah, but what was that? What was my next question? I was going to ask you. I just totally forgot it. I've seen that you've done a lot of conventions lately. Do you enjoy that, or is it exhausting, or which is it? Or do you really like doing those?
Oh, I love them. Love them when you're there. The travel has been exhausting.
Yeah.
People are always like, oh, you're coming to this city, or so. Did you go see this 5 Points or the, Big Vista? Did you go see them? Oh, did you go get some food at the thingy? And we're like, we saw the inside of the plane, the airport, the ride, and the convention center. I think there was a hotel involved. And so that's dizzying. But we love a good convention because that's where people can really share that nostalgia. I think I was really lucky that a lot of the films I was in was during the days where you had to drive to the Blockbuster store and pick one out and wait in line and hold it in your hand. It's the tactile thing, holding it in your hand, and a little effort to go see it. Maybe not as many films were being made. And I think that was the time where the look of movies peaked. Look at that look in Adventures of Babysitting, that night, backlit, wet down, beautifully shot by Rick Waite, who also shot 48 Hours and Great Outdoors. And all of the new $100,000 cinema cameras are just trying to look like Panavision 35 millimeter late 80s.
Yeah, you can't all the digital are trying to recapture the, film look. I miss, the days of Blockbuster and everything. I worked at Blockbuster for 9 years, so I
worked at my first job outside of working as an actor was at a video store.
Yeah, I did that mainly just for the free rentals, but so I could watch, get 5 free rentals a week or whatever it was, and watch every movie I wanted. Has there ever been a role that you found like particularly like challenging or difficult and how did you approach that, if you did?
I only something that I think I was miscast for, didn't understand, took the project last minute just for the money.
Yeah.
Forever. Co-starring Sally Kirkland, Sean Young, Steve Railsback, Diane Ladd. My goodness. What a interesting film. A ghost story involving Mary Miles Minter and William Desmond Taylor and old Hollywood and new Hollywood. We were get sued if we mentioned Charlie Chaplin, so he was Buddy Baldwin. But they had like a Fatty Arbuckle, and oh God, it was so poorly shot. In like 18 days, I think we shot it in, and I saw the producer throw like a hot cup of coffee right in the director's face one day. I just knew it wasn't going well, but the checks cleared, which I was really happy about. But it was a good lesson too, because nobody's really seen it, and I will never do a movie just for the money.
Yeah.
That partially. I'll do it. I'll still do the movie for the money, but not just for the money.
Yeah.
I'll lie to myself and say there's some artistic merit to it.
Got to find something in there.
Well, fine, but I learned a great lesson because number one, it was great to work with Sean Young again. And we had worked, prior on Cousins, and Steve Railsback, what a legend. There was other great character actors on there, fantastic. But it was Sally Kirkland who, and I grew up in the world of commercials. We got to hold the prop and do the thing and say the line and be just dead on. Kids wasting time. So Charlotte Kirkland never said the same line twice, never stood in the same, never did it. Every take was a different take.
Yeah.
That I learned to be in the moment from her, to really listen to your actor. Because with her, you don't know when she's going to stab you. You got to really keep your eye on Sally.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a battle. Yeah. I've worked on stage with some people, and I've seen where they just get into the rhythm of things, and then they kind of like are missing the point of the emotion behind the character. And it's fine, you got to memorize your lines and everything. But I've been in some like stage productions where it's just like, okay, come on, wake up. You're not just reciting lines. You got to be in the character. What advice would you give to like younger actors today that are trying to start out? I know that there's a lot more opportunities now and stuff than when you started.
Oh, this is me trying to stand.
Yeah.
So they should just do it.
It's
democratized now. They're going to have to do something to be found and discovered.
Yeah.
There's 15,000 people seen and tapes sent in for each part. There's 8,000 speaking roles a year. Only about 2,000 or 3,000 make a living at it, and there's 170,000 Screen Actors Guild members. So there's, influencers are going right around the whole Hollywood thing and going right to the old school ways. They're going right to the advertiser. Because back when TV started, it was the Texaco Theater. It was the, the Crest Radio Hour or whatever. And so now they are meeting with the money, which has been missing ever since these streaming services said, hey, if you pay a little extra, then no ads. So really, $5 a month more is making up for all of your lost advertising revenue? I don't think so.
No.
I think they're taking a bath on anyone who kills the ads. Because that's the only way they're making money is off of the ads. And that's the old Hollywood trinity: audience, advertiser, producer. Advertiser gets the producer the money, producer airs something for the audience, and then there's a commercial. That's you're paying for it. So if people don't want ads, then, HBO was great when they were just licensing stuff. Same with Showtime, same with Z Channel, an early cable box.
Yeah. Psycho,
great channel with uncut movies and stuff. The uncut version of Heaven's Gate, uncut Superman, and all these great movies. Now with digital distribution, there's really no event. I know that studio heads know that there's a difference between a movie with movie stars that was in a movie theater and promoted as such.
Yeah.
That has a value when it hits streaming. Like, oh, it's coming out. Maybe people sign on to go see that. But everyone's, I think, sign on to what they're going to be signed on for.
Yeah.
And the economics went to those companies that are most in debt. From hundreds of millions billion with a B. That's right.
Yeah.
Apple has $100 and something billion worth of debt. Sony's at $31 billion. Netflix is at was it 14 billion? Maybe 13 billion. They paid some of it down. So that debt just went to go pay all of these A-list stars and filmmakers and cinematographers and directors and producers. Hey, let's get Scorsese to do like a 4-hour movie about oil rights and, indigenous. Okay, cool. Throw it at them. How the hell do they make their money back on that movie?
I can't.
So, it's turned into a tech race, and they're treating these media companies like IPOs and tech companies rather than film factories, and they should just get to the business of making movies. Let the market sort it out. Maybe you charge more for a big action movie, but you charge less for, a Big Beautiful Journey. You charge less for a romantic comedy. You charge less, depending on the budget. On budgets under 10 million, I'm paying under $10. They're charging $50 a ticket for Dune 3 Christmas showings in big cities, 70 millimeter IMAX and all that stuff. And of course, those tickets sold out; they're gone.
Yeah,
you can still get them for like 38 plus fees and the thing. And so it's gotten people are comfortable at home with their big screens.
And then they're writing things now for second screen type people, like where people are scrolling on TikTok or whatever. And, you got to basically explain things like in dialogue as opposed to actually showing, which film is actually a visual medium. But you've got somebody being like, yeah, and now we're going to go to the store and buy this thing. And then, and then they do that. And you're just like, okay, so why did you tell me you're doing it? Just show me that you're doing that.
So they're not holding the audience's focus. They're not holding their attention. So something in the writing, the story, the setting, the pacing, something in the camera movement, something they go, oh, I'm out. Let me look at my phone. Yeah, you got to grab them by the nuts and you got to hold them all the way through the movie. And they just don't make movies like that anymore. They really smooth it out. They ask me, casting directors, time and time again and stuff. They're like, do less. No. Just smooth it out. Do less. And I'm like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, like I've noticed that when I watch like Adventures in Babysitting or Don't Tell Mom, I actually put my phone away, watched it, because a lot of times I'll be looking up trivia about the movie or something while I'm watching it. I didn't do any of that during those. Or we review a lot of movies for our podcast, both good and bad movies. But I've noticed that a lot of the like older movies that we review, I don't do that. I put my phone away and I watch, and I don't really, look things up that I want to look up for our podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Eventually, the Babysitting had been storyboarded, and so really knew where everything in the
was going
to be, and where your eye was going to be, and colors and all this stuff. And then Don't Tell Mom and both had good production design, but Don't Tell Mom had great art direction. The '90s, those bold, vivid colors, all of the clown dog stuff to her fashion. And Stephen Herrick knows how he. Really knows how to do subtle camera movements that just keep your little breathless, little push-ins, little pull-outs to reveals. He's a very visual storyteller, so you could watch the movie with the sound off, or you could just listen to 5 great one-liners a page. Don't Tell Mom has just set up punchline, and during those setups and punchlines are actually story, character, and plot.
Yeah.
That's what I really appreciated. It was a great script and shot at a pace. It still has its pauses. It still takes, remember, people always forget that a rest is also a note. And you need that in comedy. You can't just hit audiences constantly. You got to give them time to process. And I feel like Adventures of Babysitting was made in the same vein as a Spielberg or a Richard Donner film or or Back to the Future. And since Columbus had written Goonies and Gremlins and Young Sherlock Holmes, he was kind of Spielberg protege. And Don't Tell Mom, Stephen Herrick was great at delivering something that'll totally entertain the kids during the summer. You get them in the seats. He goes, you give me 93 minutes with these kids and they will have learned something. They'll have had fun. A lot of stuff will have gone over their head. If a parent happens to get in the audience, they'll go like, oh, that's camp fun. That's really fun. Camp? I'll explain camp later, honey. So it was kind of subversive in that it rips the plot away from all posters lie, but the title just makes you feel like you'd be worried about the babysitter longer than 20 minutes. And that's, the fun conceit of that movie too is the babysitter brick joke. Yeah.
I watched part of the remake the other day because I hadn't seen it yet. And I know you have a. I think it actually kept me going watching that one too. I think they kind of caught the.
Well, if you make it to, there's a point where you go, that's really close. Yep, the mom has to.
Yeah.
Yep, the kids are, each of their kind of things are a little compressed because if you notice, there's only 4 Crandall kids instead of 5 Crandall kids. And that's because there's only 4 Crandall kids left. We lost Christopher Pettit years ago.
Yeah.
So they kind of smushed Zach and Walter into one, and it was brilliant. Each of those kids are phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah.
Wise Beyond the Years, I think they're all reincarnated. And then Simone Joy-Jones does a great job of being swell. First time you see her, she's wearing Kenny's jeans. So it's as the director said, it's not a remake, it's not a reboot, it's not a sequel, it's a remix. And I've never seen a more loving tribute. Did you make it to the title drop?
Yeah.
Where they actually go to dump the body. They're gonna go and they put it in the car instead of hitting the tree, it goes into the woods.
Yeah, I made it made it a little bit past that last night, and then I got tired and I had to go to bed. It was nothing about the movie, it was just my sleep needing.
In that moment when they dump the body and they're driving back and the music's playing and that's when I go, they're going to make it its own movie. But then in dialogue and characters and plot, they shot it in the same house. They have the 3 cameos, I think 4 cameos from original cast members. It's a great retelling. At one point, Babysitter comes in to yell at the kids. She pauses the TV, and on the TV is Joanna Cassidy at the fashion show from the original movie.
Nice. Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, I saw the scene with you towards the beginning where Miss Pat is like going crazy there, and I love her. She's hilarious. So yeah, it's great. So, what are you working on now? Speaking of,
I'm cutting the making of. It is behind the scenes of a film I just finished. Really groundbreaking film. I really just think it is cinema. It is called Chicken Head, horror comedy found footage mockumentary.
Nice.
Written and directed by Corin Nemec. And he's also co-starring in it. Matt Florio co-wrote it, starring in it. Myself, David Faustino is in it. They are a documentary film crew that goes into the deep redneck woods to find the answers to the chicken head slayer murders. Half man, half chicken, 6.5 feet tall. And just, terrifying, really. And I blown away by what we got done and how we did it, and not a lot of other adults to look around to. When you go, wait, hey, can we? Nobody has an answer. I'm the one. We just do it, okay? So you see people just. It was so fun. It was like, did you ever see Cecil B. Demented?
Yeah, years ago. Yeah,
that is a John Waters picture, right?
I think so.
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
So it felt like that. It felt like when it's a film crew, and I watched a film crew go from, oh God, another thing where it's really a lot of work. Oh God, other foods over another thing, and then I see them get into it. About 3 to 4 days into it, they go crazy. We're shooting nights, and the exhaustion sets in, and the humor sets into where they see that what we're doing is going to be really fun on screen. And I see them get into it. And I see their exhaustion lift, like manna, like magic bread came down and gave them energy. And it was a great script that made me laugh upon reading it. Made laugh when my wife read it out loud in the car. When Pinky read it, we were on a road trip. She read it out loud. We were falling out of our seats. And then we did the table read, and it was hysterical. So I hope that some of that gets through into the movie, and also it's a little scary. It's a great homage to horror movies and found footage films and mockumentary films.
Nice. I've got some fun questions really quick that I put together here. What's your favorite musical band or artist?
Oh wow. Oh, you can't do that to me, man. That's not
or a few.
fair.
You can give me a few.
That's not fair.
or somebody that's underrated that nobody's heard of or something, you know. The Stones. Nice.
Stones. And Beatles. I was raised on 70s funk and rock and Tower of Power, Earth, Wind and Fire, Led Zeppelin, and have seen the Stones and Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and lived a rock and roll lifestyle, Guns N' Roses and Nirvana, and music started speaking to me around the time that I did Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah.
As he was into rock and roll music and stuff. And in the 90s, I guess it was the Pixies and U2 and the weird stuff. Actually, I have absolutely been to raves in a warehouse on the wrong side of town.
Me
with
too.
a guy in a backpack going, no, okay. I've gone into clubs with crates of records with the DJ, and I was with the DJ. But that so music is a huge part of that. I think.
Yeah.
People growing up, whether it's Les Miller, Les Brown, Glenn Miller.
Yeah.
Tommy Dorsey, or if it's Radiohead and the Pogues.
What was your first celebrity crush?
Maybe Lara Jill Miller. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who else have I had a crush on? Yeah, that's probably what yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, there's all sorts of crushes you could have. Pollyanna maybe on you, but like after she's crippled. I'm just kidding. That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. I'm a writer. I'm a comedy writer, and I just can't.
Well, it comes to your head. You got to say it.
That's a great joke, but it's totally terrible. Me too. Yeah. Everybody, me too. My God. Me and my mom wrote John Wayne Bobbitt's act, and we taught him comedy and put him up. And
oh, nice.
No, well, okay.
Not nice. I mean,
I did get us an invite to his adult film, John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut. Then they had the screening at the television at the Academy, like motion picture. There's Oscars sitting there. And I'm with my mother, because we both kind of shepherded him into his getting his thingy whacked off career. Yeah. So we're in the back, and a couple of scenes go by, and we're squealing, and my mom's just grabbing my hand, and she goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe this!" And porn stars are everywhere. And my mother leans over. She goes, "What do you think of the movie?" And I go, "I give it half a thumb." So what was the question? My God.
Oh, yeah, it was just a celebrity crush. You're good.
Thanks. Phoebe Cates was another one.
Oh, yeah.
Did audition for Adventures of Babysitting. And for the Babysitter, that was...
I mean, she woke up a whole generation in Fast Times, so yeah.
Absolutely. Had a crush on Meredith Salinger, but I went to school with her. And I worked with her. I never hit on the girls I worked with or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. Or pinned them to the side of a car or anything like that.
That's it's sadly you see so many people that have done that. Yeah. What's a guilty pleasure like TV show or film that you have? Like something that you're like almost like a guilty pleasure, like something you are almost embarrassed to say you love.
Oh God, I couldn't even begin. I don't even know. I'm not afraid of being judged.
Yeah, me either. So
for watching, I mean, now with the Roku, I've cut the cable, so it's just Roku, and it's got the and then all of the other streamers and stuff. Which integrates nicely, by the way. They have the channels, which are just the show channel, and that's just great to trip through. There's so many great new shows that I guess I'm not watching a lot of the old stuff. I was just watching a little Johnny Sacco and his flying robot, which is great stuff. Reading the whole lore behind that. Variety of weird stuff from all sorts of. We were on a Disney cruise, and so we were catching up, and of course we went through like Aristocats and Rescuers, but then we found ourselves watching Bedknobs and Broomsticks. And did you know there's Nazis in Bedknobs and we're on a Disney cruise going like, they won't play Fox and the Hound, but they've got Nazis in. But I don't know what the...
Yeah, because I mean, you were in Fox and the Hound, so yeah, you'd hope that they did.
Yeah, I was upset because they didn't have it listed in the little free movie thing on the cruise, and I'm like, hey, maybe they don't want kids crying on the cruise.
Yeah,
hey, love him, friends forever.
There's so many Disney movies that make kids cry, though. So
I know it's not fair. They're like, no, Fox and the Hound really tear them apart.
What the last question I have is where would you like to be found online? Like,
certainly not a 404. At keithcooganonline.com is the website, and that'll get you to merch and all that stuff. And I got on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, Keith Coogan, KeithCoogan, and at a YouTube and all that good stuff up. Keith and Pinky's Hollywood Tales for YouTube stuff. And just, kind of a content creator, semi-retired, collecting my Screen Actors Guild pension for work I did over the last 50 years. It's great. Living the dream and working on stuff like Chicken Head, which I think it'll really be like Little Children for me. It'll be maybe Watchmen. It'll be like a comeback for
your Pulp Fiction.
He's really good at Chicken Head. My God,
Scorsese will be knocking on the door next.
Where's he been all these years? Working census. What do you want me to say?
Well, thank you for your time here today. I really appreciate it. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Dishes are done, man.
Okay, that was my interview there with Keith Coogan. He had a lot of cool stories there and a lot of good things to say. I look like crap in the video, but that's because I hadn't figured out my lighting yet. I don't know if I have yet, but that's how it goes, right?
You live and learn. It's like,
yeah.
You go like, okay, today I'm gonna work on this lighting. Tomorrow I'm gonna eat Firefox macaroni. I don't know if you do that. I'm just saying, like, as an example, like, then next go back into figuring out lighting and whatnot.
There's only two things you can do in life: is that figuring out lighting and eating a whole box of macaroni and cheese. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else in the world that is worth doing.
Realistically, a babysitter usually would only make macaroni and cheese. It's like kind of ties.
Yeah, into like two of the movies that that good old Keith Coogan was in. He somehow the babysitter, I don't know, king of 80s and 90s films.
Babysitter king.
Yes. It was fun talking to him, though. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed that. Just remember that you can find us at all2reeltoo.com. It's a good place to check out our social media links, our TeePublic, and our what is that other thing? Patreon. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, that other thing, where we can have people help support our show, because you know what, folks, we don't make money doing this, really. No, but we would like to. I mean, it would be good, if you really want to keep supporting us and getting some more interviews with people and getting some reviews of movies that are hard to find that we might have to buy, help support the show. Give us your money and your souls.
Dough, support the show by give us some dough. There you go.
Give us your dough and give us your souls.
Well,
Wait.
Maybe not the soul part.
Not the soul part. Okay.
So your shoes, then we can sell the souls for money.
Yes. Yeah. Did I ever tell you start a shoe?
No.
I wanted to start a shoe company called Ish. So then I could say I have Ish shoes.
Oh, okay. That's kind of
yeah. I know. I'm lame. But anyways, I'll see myself out. Folks, just remember that trans lives are human lives. No human is illegal.
Completely random.
It is.
You gotta sneak that in at the end. You're like, yep, there you go.
Yep. See, there are issues I care about, so that's why I want to have issues.
Yeah,
like I said, no human is illegal. Trans lives are human lives. Free Palestine. Fuck ICE.
Yeah.
And just remember that I love you. The dishes are done, man.
Right.
And Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo's podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.